What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. My name is UnrealEntGaming, and welcome back to another episode of this week's Fan Mail of the Week, everybody. Welcome to the month of July. Literally supposed to be one of the hottest months of the year. We are a day before 4th of July for those of you who are going to be celebrating it in America. Happy 4th of July for everybody out there who celebrates it, including myself. It's going to be incredibly awesome. I really can't wait to just spend time with my friends and just hang out, watch the fireworks, probably go to the beach. Hopefully I can go to the beach if I don't work. Damn day job, son of a bitch. But anyways, guys, I really hope you guys are going to enjoy your weekend. Literally, this Sunday is going to be the debut of Dragon Ball Super. For the first time, guys, in 18 years, our beloved series will make its debut, this Sunday, and it's going to be awesome. I really cannot wait because it's going to be broadcasted in Japan, and I think about a couple of hours later, it's going to be, on the internet, so you guys are able to watch it on the internet. I'm very excited because this is a brand new chapter, a brand new beginning for Dragon Ball. And everything we've always wanted is going to come into fruition. Of course, we're going to have to wait and see what happens. We don't know how far along the lines the story is going to take place, but either way, it's going to be pretty cool to see how everything is going to unfold. So you guys made that happen. Always remember that. It's because of the community, everybody within the Dragon Ball Z community, every single person, whether it be myself, the Cobbler's Gaming, Dino, Quaman, everybody, every single person, Forever World, every single YouTuber, every single fan, we all made this happen, and you all deserve a big round of applause and some chocolate. So anyways, guys, before we begin, let me just say, for those of you out there who haven't already done so, please go on ahead and check out my second channel at UnrealEnt Network. The link will be in the description below. That channel holds a whole bunch of awesome stuff that this channel does not, including, fan interactions, Dragon Ball Z, Dying Light, PT, Mortal Kombat, Resident Evil, Call of Duty, Battlefield, etc, etc, etc. So anyways, everybody, let's begin with our first question of July, and it is from Big Al. Yes, we are the Big Owls. Alex, what's good, man? Got some questions I would really like your opinion on. So here we go. Happy 4th of July, by the way. You're the only guy I know who's been doing fan mail for this long. I know, man. Trust me. It's always been a pleasure. All right, question number 1. What movies are you looking forward to in 2016? Question 2. Are you ever going to play the game The Crew? You should, because I would love to see you explore the states in a Lambo. Question number 3. Do you think they'll ever make a non-canon movie series again for Dragon Ball Z, just for the sake of fun? The what if stories. Thanks, Alex. Well, thank you, Al. Well, to answer your first question, the movies that I am looking forward to in 2016, I really can't wait. I think the big two for everybody as well are going to be Captain America Civil War and Batman vs. Superman. Those two movies are going to be very critical for me. I really cannot wait. Other movies that have to do with 2016 happen to be Paranormal Activity 5 or 6 or whatever the hell you want to call it. And the reason why I say Paranormal Activity is because I really want to see what happens in the very end. I really want to see, gradually what happens to Katie and what happens to Hunter and etc, etc, etc. I want to see if the old, cast members are going to be included, whether or not they're going to use that secret satanic door to time travel from, place to place. So that's going to be very interesting. So yeah, just Civil War, Batman vs. Superman, Paranormal Activity 5. I'm hearing that the X-Men Apocalypse movie is supposed to be coming out next year. Don't know how true that actually is, whether it be Wolverine 3 or X-Men Apocalypse. Either way, I really can't wait to see X-Men, because after watching Days of Future Past, it actually builds up towards that, and I'm really excited to see how exactly Apocalypse is going to be introduced and whatnot. So if there's any other movie, I would say it's probably the Yu-Gi-Oh! 2016 movie. That is something that I am very interested in seeing, because I want to see how they're going to go about making the Yu-Gi-Oh! Movie. I want to see if they're going to go on ahead and make a new series off the Yu-Gi-Oh! Franchise. So yeah, that's definitely another one. And if I had to say one more, I can't really give you a definitive answer on this, but I'm hearing that Independence Day 2 might come out next year as well. Not entirely sure if Independence Day 2 will be released or not. But that's another movie that, if it does come out, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing it. So, to answer your second question, The Crew. I've heard mixed reactions about The Crew, honestly. For those of you out there who have the game, or who have actually had the game, let me know if the game is worth buying or not, because I've been hearing that the gameplay is sort of alright. It's pretty cool to travel from place to place. I'm hearing that the story mode sucks, to be honest. But the gameplay is sort of good, so I don't know what to do on that aspect. It's pretty cool because I really want to travel in a Rolls Royce or, Lamborghini, or probably an Evo or something, from New York to Cali and from Cali to Chicago and stuff like that. I really want to do that. So I was actually considering it back in like May or April to get the game and just play it and see how it is. I've played the demo, and the demo was alright. There was nothing spectacular about it, but for those of you out there who've played the game or who have, still have the game, let me know if it's worth getting or not, because if it is, I'll just get it pre-owned or something and I'll just play it just to see how it is. By no means is there any, racing game that's as good as Need for Speed Underground 2. That has always been my favorite racing game since like day zero. I've always loved that franchise, so Need for Speed Underground 2 will always be my #1 racing game. There is no other game that can top that, to be honest, so if the crew can do that, then I'll get it. If not, then I guess I can't. And to answer your final question, I know exactly what you mean by that. I mean, it's pretty interesting. I really don't think they're going to make any other non-canon movies. But if they do, if by some chance they do, it'll all be up to the audience whether or not they want to see something like that. So again, I pose the question to you guys. Would you guys love to see non-canon movies reappear in the Dragon Ball franchise? And I'll give you some examples. Broly, Cooler, Bojack, Android 13, Haruto God, Janemba, all of those characters had their own movies. Would you guys like to see more movies that happened to take place within Dragon Ball Super, before Dragon Ball Super, after Dragon Ball Super, that encompasses a non-canon sort of materialistic character? Like, for example, they come up with their own character that has no tie-ins with the actual manga, but is just there for shits and giggles. Like, I think it'll be really cool. I mean, I would love to see at least 1 to 2 movies that appear later on down the road that have nothing to do with the series, that are non-canon, just so they can introduce new characters and stuff like that, and just, tell a very unique story here, because that'll actually provide us with more characters for future games. Just overall, I think it'll be really cool to have. So, I mean, if anything, I would say yes. But I know a lot of people are actually going to say no to that. They're going to say, no, we don't want to see any more non-canon Dragon Ball Z movies. And it's just like, oh my god. It's like, like 1 or 2 won't really hurt. If they go on ahead and make like 16 other movies, then yeah, I mean, I could see the problem in that. But I mean, if they made about, a couple of other movies that, are just made for shits and giggles, then I don't see what the problem is, to be honest. But anyways, Mr. Big Al, thank you for the questions, my friend. I hope you have a very, very awesome 4th of July, bro. Moving on to the next question, which is from Mob Deep. How's it going, Alex? Got some questions for you. Please put it on fan mail. Sure, bro. Question number 1. How come you don't like McDonald's? And question number 2, favorite Ed, and Eddie episodes? Well, thank you, Mr. Deep. To answer your first question, McDonald's is nasty, man. I mean, once you start looking into what's really inside the McDonald's food, it's going to really gross your ass out. I mean, go watch Super Sized Me. Go watch all these documentaries that have to do with McDonald's food. It's just nasty, man. When I was a kid, I used to eat McDonald's like crazy. Like every day I used to have Big Macs and chicken nuggets and those French fries. Those French fries are just amazing, but there's something within them that, it's just nasty. McDonald's food, it's not really all beef. It's not real potatoes for fries. It's not real chicken. It's all processed ass fucking GMO food. It's disgusting. And of course, McDonald's right now is losing a lot of its customers because people are starting to go down the healthy route, and they're working out, they're starting to follow their diets and stuff like that. So McDonald's is losing business here and there. And for me, I'm just not digging McDonald's at all, man. After watching that one documentary where a guy left a Big Mac in a jar for about 1.5 years, and that fucking Big Mac was still there, and it was moldy and stuff, but it still wasn't devoured, whereas opposed to he put another real homemade hamburger inside of the jar, and there was nothing left of that shit. It was like all black, moldy and stuff like that, and you look at the Big Mac, and it was still, there, like, just, it was disgusting. And then including the fries as well, like the French fries were still intact, and I was like, what the hell? Like, what are these fries made out of, like, that they're still preserved even 1.5 years later? It's disgusting. So God knows what happens in your stomach once it's in there. So I don't know, man. For me, I'm not really digging McDonald's. I stopped eating McDonald's for a while now, so it's just not something that I'm into, at least not anymore. And to answer your second question, favorite Ed, and Eddie episodes, wow. I have a few, but I forgot the names of the actual episodes. I remember one time, like the first time they discovered the Canker sisters, that was pretty cool because they all crapped themselves once they started realizing that these Canker sisters had like an obsession with them. There was one Halloween episode, I forgot what it was. Everybody was getting dressed up and whatnot, and I think it was Ed who was just going crazy with like pretending he was a monster and stuff, and Eddie was trying to like devise a scheme to like make a scary theme park where he can get quarters to get jawbreakers and stuff. I mean, every single episode had its unique moments, and I love Ed and Eddie for that. They've always had their own, way of telling a story, and I mean, it was really, really fun. I mean, I would say I loved every episode because every single episode to me stood out, and every single episode to me was very unique in the sense of, every single character had their moment, every single character had their story, and it pretty much sucks now because Ed and Eddie has been, just completely wiped off of the face of the earth. The seasons are over, everything about it are over. I believe they had the grown episodes where they were actually like adults or like in college or something like that. Never really looked too much into that. I was actually reading some article on Creepypasta where it was really fucked up because like they told the story, the narrative, from like a very horrifying point of view. It was like they're all stuck in purgatory, and some of them are demons, some of them are ghosts and stuff like that. Like some of them had like mental problems. It was pretty messed up, and I'm just there. I was like, oh my god, like this is like some really crazy ass shit. So Ed and Eddie, for me, at least when I was a kid, it was one of my favorites. Even still to this day, TV shows like that and Courage the Cowardly Dog and stuff like that. So I wouldn't say I have a favorite episode. I would have to say all of them were my favorites because they all were really, really unique. So, but anyways, my friend, I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Happy 4th of July, and I hope you stay healthy and don't eat any McDonald's on the way on the weekend. So, thank you, my friend. Thank you for the questions. And now moving on to the next question, which is from BrainstormAlex. You are the freaking best YouTuber around, and your work proves that. So here are my questions. Thank you, man. Question 2. My brother says Dragon Ball Z is for little kids who are virgins with no lives. What? Is he fucking crazy? Thoughts? Should I punch him in the dick now or later? Oh, you should do that. You should do that right now before I even begin to answer anything. Just walk in his room and just freaking punch him in the dick, man. Question number 3. What are your thoughts on Tales of the Crypt? Okay. To answer your second question, your brother's fucking stupid. Because how could you say that Dragon Ball Z is for little kids who are virgins with no life? Dragon Ball Z's story arc is more than just kicking, punching, and screaming. I'll even give you a good example, right? Let's use Vegeta. Vegeta was born into royalty. He always strived on being the strongest person in the universe, being the strongest of his race, because it's in his heritage, it's in his blood to become the best because he was born into that. There just so happens to be a warrior by the name of Goku who was not born into royalty, who was pretty much a low-level soldier sent to Earth, who was supposed to go to Earth, actually, and become evil and destroy the planet, but instead, upon coming here, he hit his head really hard that it caused him to become a good person, and he naturally obtained the strength through honor, through hard work, through perseverance, and through execution of his technique. And Vegeta was always jealous because he was often the bad guy. He was often the one going to other planets, destroying them and doing all sorts of stuff. So for him to see a low-level soldier become stronger than he is gives him a reason to train harder and to push himself beyond his limits because he really wants to surpass Goku. And Goku's always pushing himself as well because he wants to surpass himself. He wants to exceed his own limits. You have various characters within Dragon Ball Z. You have Frieza, who is a crazy alien overlord who pretty much wants to do things his way, and his entire story arc was featured around gathering the Dragon Balls and becoming immortal before he encountered Goku and battled him on planet Namek. And through his perception, he always wanted to be the strongest in the universe, and he always saw himself as that because, again, through royalty, through his family, the Cold family and whatnot. So Frieza does have a reputation on being a vicious tyrant, a planet traitor, a planet seller, and a planet destroyer. So Dragon Ball Z has so much story behind every character, behind every twist and turn. And for your brother to say it's for virgins that have no life, he's the virgin that has no life because Dragon Ball Z teaches you to pretty much push yourself beyond what you're currently capable of. You see that through characters of Gohan, Piccolo, even Tien, Krillin, Goku, Vegeta, and it actually inspires you to either, pick one of these characters and relate to them, or just go out there and actually, strive to become the best. And the reason why I say you can pick these characters and relate to them, because many people can actually relate to certain people. Like, there are some people that can definitely relate to Goku, always training, never have time for anything, never have time for family or friends, always trying to be the best, always trying to, push himself beyond his limits to be better than himself. And he always wants to, strive for competition in order to see how good he can really be. There are some people out there that can relate to, Vegeta, being proud and arrogant, always trying to step on other people to get, at a higher level and stuff like that. So people can relate to these characters. And for your brother to say that DBZ is for virgins, I mean, I think you should not only punch him in the dick, but you should kick him right in his asshole. Spread his cheeks and kick him right where it freaking hurts. Like, right on the little, opening fucking crack of his butt. Just kick him right there and then punch him in the dick for saying that, because that is the most absurd thing I have ever heard in my entire life. Literally. And to answer your final question, Tales of the Crypt, I mean, I really miss that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think they're going to bring it back, because there are a lot of rumors and speculation going around that they're going to, do 28 months later. They're going to be doing a whole bunch of movies from the past that people haven't even expected, like Independence Day 2 and stuff like that. So I don't see why they can't do, Tales of the Crypt. I thought when I was a kid that it was very, very good. It was very, very, creepy. And the Crypt was actually pretty creepy himself. Like, he had, that little maniacal voice, and he looked creepy. He had no nose. He looked like Michael Jackson if he were to come out of a, sauna. It was so cool, the way he would tell stories and stuff like that. Even the little, comics, they were cool too. So I always digged it when I was a kid. I don't remember too much, because when I was a kid, I used to be kind of petrified of just looking at him, because he was very, very creepy enough as it was. But they're starting to remake, Poltergeist, and they're gonna start doing other stuff as well. Why not do, Tales of the Crypt? I think it would be pretty cool if they were to do that. But needless to say, I mean, when I was a kid, I used to love that. I used to love watching, horror movies on Halloween that meant something. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll give you a good example. Like, if it was Halloween, I would definitely watch Hocus Pocus. I would definitely watch Tales of the Crypt. I would watch Halloween, John Carpenter's Halloween. I would watch, Nightmare on Elm Street Parts 1 and 2. So, these movies, these shows, they held significance. So, Tales of the Crypt, I don't know if they're ever going to, do, a reboot or a remake or whatever the case may be. Or if they might actually go on ahead and continue off of it. But needless to say, I think they ought to do something with it, because if they're going to go on ahead and create, remakes and reboots to all of these other classic movies, why not go on ahead and do somewhat of a reboot / remake to this? I don't see any harm done for that, because I think a lot of people would be interested, and even myself, I would love to see how Tales of the Crypt would actually go about modern days today. I mean, it only has 2 routes to go down. It could either be a very good show / movie, or it could be very terrible that you can't even bear to even listen to it. So either way, for me, like, when I was a kid, I used to love it, and just considering that, I might go on ahead and just YouTube some stuff about it later and just watch it. But for those of you younger kids out there, I really suggest for you guys to go on ahead and check it out and just see how it is. It's pretty funny. It's not all horror, but I mean, it has its moments. But either way, I thought it was great for what it was worth back then. So, but anyways, my friend, once again, thank you for the questions, and I hope you have an awesome day, my friend. And now moving on to the next question, which is from The Truth About It All. UnrealEntGaming, I love your content, bro. I am a new fan and sub, and the stuff you do on Facebook and Instagram for everyone is amazing. Thank you, man. Please answer these. Sad face. Aw, don't be sad. You're on fan mail, bro. Cheer up. It's 4th of July. Come on. Question number 1. If Pennywise the Clown met Freddy Krueger, how do you think their encounter would end off? Would they end up battling? If so, who would win? Wow, that would be awesome. Question 2. What are your thoughts on the new actor who is going to play Pennywise? Question 3. If Pennywise met the Creeper from Jeepers Creepers, who would win the battle? Question 4. What are your thoughts, and what do you expect to see in the new It movie? Thank you. They all float down here. Oh boy, thank you for the questions, my friend. Well, to answer your first question, well, before I answer it, we all float down here, and you will too. Pennywise is fucking amazing. Now, if Pennywise met Freddy Krueger, that would be very interesting. I don't think I can give you an actual winner here, because in the dream world, I don't think Freddy could win either because technically Pennywise is immortal. The concept behind Pennywise is just fantastic. If you bring Freddy into the real world, however, I think given the case, they can both be killed in that realm per se. But I think that Freddy Krueger would more likely than not chop Pennywise up. Because in the real world, Pennywise was affected by battery acid, if you guys remember the original It movie. And Freddy Krueger can be killed. I mean, he could be burned alive again. He could be, vanquished. I mean, we saw what happened with Freddy versus Jason. We saw what happened in, The Nightmare Returns and all that kind of stuff. So, but in the dream world, that's actually pretty hard because, yeah, Freddy Krueger would have the upper hand because it's his realm and he could do whatever he wants. He can manipulate, matter and time and space and everything. Like, this dude can literally throw down and allow you to become nothing more than an insignificant creature. But then again, Pennywise the Clown, he's a supernatural entity. I mean, he's pretty much an immortal creature that takes form of a clown. So I think if you're talking strictly about the clown himself, I think he would give Freddy a run for his money, but I don't know if he would be able to survive. And the only reason why I say in the real world, Freddy would more likely than not kill Pennywise is because he has those sharp-ass claws. Freddy's much more cunning. Freddy's much more sadistic. And I think Freddy would take the battle to Pennywise. I think Pennywise would definitely be the person that would play it safe and try to, outsmart Freddy. But in the end, I think Freddy Krueger would chop him up. But when it comes to being in the dream world, I think both characters would be so interesting because I could definitely see Pennywise cracking jokes like, would you like a balloon? And then Freddy's like, I don't want your fucking balloons. Like that would be so awesome because here you have like this child molester / child murderer, Freddy Krueger, encountering, this child eating, entity by the name of Pennywise. Like that's perfect. I mean, they ought to put that shit on the big screen. Pennywise versus Freddy Krueger. Like that would make a lot of money because the story arc behind both of them would be absolutely amazing. So, for me, I would say in the real world, Freddy would win. But in the dream world, however, I think Pennywise would survive. To answer your second question, my thoughts on the actor who's going to play Pennywise. All right, well, the actor, I believe, is from Maze Runner. He was supposed to be like the main antagonist, like the bad guy, I would say. And personally, for me, well, I think it's a good choice because he looks very fucking creepy. Like, this kid looks like a freaking killer. I shit you not. Like, this little kid, he gives off like that persona of being like a psychopath. I really forgot his name right now, but I mean, obviously we're gonna have to wait and see because I don't think anybody could do a better job than Tim Curry, because when Tim was playing Pennywise, he did it to the T. He made you believe that he was Pennywise the Clown, therefore giving the impression that Pennywise was literally like this psychopath, and in reality, just like how Heath Ledger played the Joker, Tim Curry played Pennywise very, very, very well. So I really doubt that this new actor is going to be able to do a better job, because it just doesn't seem like he'll be able to fill those shoes. Now, granted, I may be judging him a little too early, but in my personal opinion, I don't think he's going to be able to match up to Tim Curry's acting level, because when he was Pennywise, he legitimately was Pennywise the Clown. I mean, I'm willing to give this new kid a chance. He has a really creepy-ass face. He has a really creepy-ass demeanor about him, so I think he's like the perfect choice as of right now to play Pennywise. But again, we're just going to have to wait and see where they go with this, because I really hope they don't change his overall design and his look, because if they do, they'll really mess it up. So, to answer your third question, Pennywise versus the Creeper. Wow, damn. I'm sorry, but I think the Creeper would take this one. I mean, think about that. For anybody in here who's watched Jeepers Creepers, let me know. Because that Creeper, I think, would bring the fight to Pennywise on a different magnitude than how Freddy would. I think the Creeper would attempt to eat Pennywise. I shit you not. Like, the Creeper eating this supernatural, sadistic, psychopath clown. Like, the Creeper is, like, if you go back and you watch Jeepers Creepers 2, he was beheaded. he was decapitated, he was stabbed and shot and ran over and, impaled, and the creeper kept coming back, and he didn't fully die because obviously towards the ending of the film he's going to come back 23 springs later to feed again. So if Pennywise encountered the creeper, I don't know, I think Pennywise would go down because the creeper is a supernatural entity. I mean, we don't even know what he is. Whether he's a demon or an alien or a genetic experiment gone horribly wrong or a man who sold his soul. I mean, but either way, Pennywise can only do so much against the creeper. So I think the creeper definitely takes the win on this one. And to answer your final question, my thoughts on the new It movie. I'm hearing that it's going to have 2 parts, which is going to be pretty interesting. But I don't think I can give you my full synopsis because we don't really know too much about it. I think first of all, I think the movie should be rated R. If they make Pennywise, if they make it rated PG-13, it'll suck so much. Because if you're going to make a horror movie, you have to, go based off of the traditional, rating. Make it rated R, but you don't have to include blood, guts, and gore, but you can also include an element that wasn't seen before, and I think Pennywise the Clown can definitely bring that into the mix because he's obviously Pennywise the Clown. More people fear clowns than anything else. So I'm really expecting for this movie to be really good. If they mess it up, it's going to be on their end, and I will be really pissed off if they do. I mean, 2 parts though. I mean, one part's going to be for like when they were kids, and the other part's going to be when everybody's adults. So that makes things very interesting, as a matter of fact, because it allows you to see where things will go in transition from like when they were kids to adults. But I think that if they don't go based off of certain things how they did it before, they're definitely going to lose audience members and they're going to lose their rating and they're going to go to PG-13. If they go to PG-13, it's not going to be good. I mean, for horror fans at least. I mean, the casual fans are going to be like, yeah, Pennywise, yeah, it. But it's not going to be the same. I mean, virtually every movie these days is rated PG-13, so. But anyways, my friend, thank you for the questions, and I hope you have a very, very awesome day. And once again, everybody, thank you all for watching this episode of Fan Mail of the Week. I really hope all of you take care and enjoy your 4th of July. Make sure you guys are safe. Spend it with your families and friends. Spend it with your girlfriends and boyfriends. Have a good time. Make sure to eat up as much barbecue as possible if you're celebrating 4th of July, of course. If not, it's just going to be a regular Saturday morning for a lot of you, so. Anyways, everybody, if you guys are fans, don't forget to subscribe. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Stay tuned for more. Submit your questions for next week's fan mail. I hope you all stay tuned, and I'll be seeing each and every single one of you guys in the next episode. Take it easy, everybody. Peace.